Good morning, everyone. Happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth.
Okay.
What a huge weekend we have ahead of us. And this is our second to the last service of us gathering for the summer, before the summer starts, where we have our break. Laura?
You said something last week about services during the summer.
Yeah, we're not meeting during the summer, July
Right.
and August. We'll be back the second
But I
week.
thought you said something about Zoom, but maybe I
Yes, I am having Zoom, not Zoom, YouTube. I send YouTube videos out, Julia and I, between Julia and I, will be sending out videos every Sunday.
Okay. I
Yes,
got
we
it
do.
straight now.
Yeah, and I hope we'll have them out, by like 8 a.m. or something. So let's all sing together. If you know this song by Daniel Naiman, I welcome my sister Amy up to sing along. My soul is welcome here, so please sing along with us. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. We can give each other a namaste or blow each other a kiss. But just want to acknowledge who we are as a community together.
I did that tonight Friday, but you talked about well, we actually start like better with
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Well, oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. And Daniel Naiman for that song. So we do have some newcomers here today that I would love to have you introduce yourselves, if you wouldn't mind, with the microphone. Just let us know where you're from, what your names are.
I'm Margaret, and this is Tom Bradbeer. We're from Oakwood. We have been in Sound Lakes for 2 years. Got here at the very beginning of COVID, and we were coming to an active adult community. Exactly. So we have waited and waited, but we've become more and more involved in things. And so we came from the West Valley. We lived in Litchfield Park and attended the Litchfield Park Church, community church. Very interesting little church that when Litchfield Park was created, the Goodyear, that whole part of the West Valley was cotton fields and whatever, and that they made the Goodyear tires out of the whatever. Well, Mr. Litchfield owned all that property, and so he created 2 little churches for his workers. There was a little Catholic church in there, and then a little non-denominational church. Those churches, those buildings are still there, beside the old wigwam. I mean, it's lovely. But the Catholic Church outgrew itself long ago, and they have built her. But this little interdenominational one has continued to grow, but they expanded their building. It's a really neat little.
Wow.
little
Can anybody see it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the interdenominational meaning, they're not really connected to any particular denominational, whatever. So it's kind of
Nice.
And so we're glad to be here. We're enjoying Sun Lakes.
So glad to be here. And I would love, can you introduce yourself?
No,
No?
no. I'm not a newcomer. She hasn't been here for a while, but she's my friend.
Oh,
And
she's
her
my friend too.
And her friend. But she
My
can we
name's
be
Donna
friends?
Smith.
And who are you?
I'm Reverend Jeanne.
Well, see, I've never met you.
See, it's a, all right. See? Donna? Welcome, Donna. Happy you're here. And I know that you are not new, but I don't know if a lot of people know you, so I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Dr. Joanne Pena, and I haven't been here in a while, so it's probably before COVID, but I knew Jeanne back from Mesa, Unity of Mesa, where she used to come sing. And when I heard she was singing here, I decided, well, this is closer, so I should come here.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. It's wonderful to have you back. And then we also have another newcomer here. Would that be all right, too?
Wonderful. I'm Camilla. I'm not actually new. I just am new every few years. Nice to meet you all again. It seems like new faces every time I come. This is my mom, in case people didn't notice. And yeah, my name is Camilla.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. So we have a welcoming statement for everyone today that we would like to say together to all of us. We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And now let's have our opening prayer. If you feel like it, close your eyes and focus your attention on your heart center. Taking in a few deep breaths, relax. You are here, right now, in this present moment, where the observer of yourself is calm, peaceful, comfortable. Who is that observer of yourself? The God within you, Supreme Being, your higher self. We commune with that part of us that has never been hurt, that is never changing, ever. Changeless, formless, always there and everywhere present. And it's that same presence that's within each and every one of us, which is the thing that connects us as a community, as a people. Oh, how grateful it is we are to be connected, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be adored, actually. And on this day, we honor all fathers, including God the Father, within us all. So grateful for all of our fathers. Grateful for the masculine and presence within us. That activity within us that's constantly changing and growing.
urging us to grow, to change, to evolve as a soul. So grateful for every opportunity that we have today to be the expression of that God, that higher self. To be love in action. To serve each other in love. So grateful for all the gifts. Grateful for each person that came today. It would not be the same without you here. Not even close. So we bless the music today. We bless the lessons. Grateful for maybe it's even just one word or one feeling that you take with you today. We know this truth that's within us, and we carry it out into the world with the intention of entraining others to feel that God presence within them, that presence of hope and of love. We are that. And for these things we say, thank you, God. And so it is. And now we will have our daily word by Reverend Maria Blandon.
Today is Father's Day, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of information about it. The first Father's Day was celebrated at the YMCA in Spokane, Washington. And it was Sonora Smart Dodd who was honoring her father, who was a Civil War veteran and a single parent of 6 children. So that's where Father's Day started, 1910, so it's been a while. Of course, our daily word today is on Father's blessing. I bless all fathers with thoughts of gratitude. I am grateful for fathers, grandfathers, stepfathers, and all father figures who care for children and families. I pray they are always called always to follow their guidance and to act to express divine love. I envision their hearts and minds opening to receive blessings of strength, patience, and tenderness. I see them supported in all they are called upon to do and comforted during times of struggle. I pray also for children, young and old, as they remember their fathers. May cherished memories bring smiles and warmth, and may the love remain alive forever in our hearts and minds. And for all those on a healing or forgiveness journey, I pray that divine love leads and comforts them on a path towards lasting peace. May the peace and love of God fill their hearts today and every day. And from Numbers 6:24, the Lord bless you and keep you. Thank you.
So in honor of Father's Day, I wanted to share the contents of one of the best Father's Day cards ever received. It read, "Thanks to your lectures, Dad, I never changed horses in the middle of a job worth doing. I know the squeaky wheel gets the worm. I never count my chickens until I've walked a mile in their shoes." And you thought I wasn't listening. Yes, dads, thanks for all your good advice. So let's take a moment to acknowledge and honor all of our fathers in the room. Fathers, please stand and remain standing.
includes all grandfathers and all godfathers. Now, any male who has served in the role of a father to a child. Okay. And then finally, any female who has served in the role of father as well. Please stand. There we go. I'm standing, you can't tell, but I'm standing. Now, I ask the congregation to please rub your hands together. Get them nice and warm and energized with lots of love. And then extend that warmth and love out to everyone standing. And repeat after me. We honor you.
We honor you.
We thank you.
We thank you.
We forgive you for when you missed the mark.
We forgive you when you miss the mark.
We celebrate you.
We celebrate you
for when you got it right.
when you got it right.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
We love you.
We love you.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
And now we will have a song before our singing bowl meditation with Tom Rothweiler will come up after the song, and Julia and I will play the bowls. Amy will come up and we'll sing Open and Willing. And if you know the song, please sing along. I am open and willing to allow the Christ to express in me, through me, as me. I am open and willing to allow the Christ to express in me, through me, as me. I am open and willing. I am open and willing. I am open and willing. I am open and willing to allow the Christ to express in me, through me, as me. I am open and willing to allow the Christ to express in me, through me, as me. I am open and willing. I am open and willing. I am open and willing. I am.
Close your eyes. Picture a bright blue screen in your consciousness, in your vision. Bright blue. See the little pinprick of white light in the middle of this blue screen. See the blue screen turn darker, more violet, more purple. See that little white light grow in size. It envelops you. You envelop it, and it becomes one with you. Hear the resonance of these bowls and how this coherent energy goes within to every chakra in your body, from your crown chakra down to your root chakra. It oscillates, going back and forth, connecting all your chakras and making them a coherent wholeness that you have never experienced or you have forgotten from previous experiences. Feel this energy, feel this harmonics working with your body, throughout your body, becoming one with you and becoming peace, a peace that perhaps you have not had in a while. It is a peaceful, coherent energy connecting all of the chakras. It is a portal into those realms that you know that are there, but you have not experienced in a while. Feel this energy. Oneness, this energy that you've experienced, take it with you for the rest of the day. Feel this wholeness and be well.
Slowly come back into the room. Deep breath. And now let's say our prayer together that our prayer team put together. Let's say this together. Unity Church of Sun Lakes is a beacon of love and light. We welcome all with open hearts and open arms to express their divine potential
we come together in oneness, creating peace, health, and happiness in our church, community, and the world. Divine order guides our church as it prospers and grows, providing healing, love, hope, and friendship to all. And so it is. And now we will have one more song before our lesson by Amy.
Please sing along. This song is a chorus. You probably remember it. It's from Mike and the Mechanics. About fathers, and especially for all the fathers who are not here anymore. Yeah.
Every generation lays the one before. All of their frustrations come beating at your door. Know that I'm a prisoner to all my father, I'm so dear. I know that I'm a hostage to all his hopes and fears. I just wish I could have told him in the living air. Oh, problems of maker, filled with imperfect thought, still conversations. I'm all we've got. Say you just don't see it, says perfect sense. Just can't get agreement in this present tense. We all talk a different language, talking in defense. Everybody, say it loud. Oh, say it loud. Say it clear. Oh, say it clear. Blames the one before, and all of their frustration come beating at your door. Know that I'm a prisoner to Father that's so dear. Know that I'm a hostage, all his hopes and fears. I just wish I could have told him in the living room.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
Father's Day can be very emotional. Yeah, we love you, Dad. So during this month, we're exploring the topic of it's all good in the neighborhood. But have you ever noticed that on the way to our good, change seems to be inevitable? So why do you suppose that's true? Because Spirit is forever and ever desiring to express in greater and greater ways. Spirit desires to be expressed more fully, more completely, more wholly than it currently is through us. Always. And because we each have a spark of divinity at our core, we want that also, whether we realize it or not. There is something in us that is always urging us forward. In fact, in a little book of quotes from New Thought writer Ernest Holmes, in the book Keys to Wisdom, he said, "We constantly discard old ideas and take on new and better ones. The mind gives us no rest. The instinct urges us on. The intuition draws us upward. And he also wrote, the desire arises from the necessity of the universe to become self-expressed." How many times have you caught yourself saying, I want this, oh, I want this so bad. And then 2 or 3 days later, it shows up from Amazon, and you're like, why the hell did I order that? I don't need that anymore. But boy, did I need it that day I bought it. How many of you are on a first name basis with your Amazon driver? So last week we spoke about changes coming at us quickly and how to breathe them in. My, how things have changed. And thank goodness, as we learned last week. So here are a few ways that have changed for the good. In the 1500s, they cooked in a big kettle that always hung over the fire. Every day, they lit the fire and added things to the pot. They ate mostly vegetables and did not get much meat. They would eat the stew for dinner, leaving leftovers in the pot to get cold overnight, and then start over the next day. Sometimes the stew had food in it that had been there for quite a while. Hence the rhyme. Anyone care to guess? Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot and 9 days old. In the pot and 9 days old. Sometimes they could obtain pork, which made them feel quite special. When visitors came over, they would hang up their bacon to show it off. It was a sign of wealth that a man could bring home the bacon. And as a very special treat, they would cut off a little to share with guests. And then they would all sit around and chew the fat. Lead cups were used to drink ale or whiskey. The combination of lead poisoning and alcohol would sometimes knock them out for a couple of days. Someone walking along the road would take them for dead and prepare them for burial. They were laid out on the kitchen table for a couple of days, and the family would gather around and eat and drink and wait to see if they would wake up. Hence the custom of holding a wake. England is old and small, and they started out running out of places to bury people. So they would dig up coffins and reuse the grave. When reopening these coffins, 1 out of 25 were found to have scratch marks on the insides of them. And then they realized that they'd been burying people alive. So they decided to tie a string on the wrist of the corpse, lead it through the coffin and up through to the ground, and tie it to a bell. Someone would then be assigned to sit out in the graveyard all night, thus creating the graveyard shift, to listen for the bell. And someone could then be saved by the bell. Or was considered a dead ringer. These are facts. My, how things have changed! Thank goodness. Today we are going to take a look at 5 ways we call for change in our lives. Because we do it, remember, the mind gives us no rest. The instinct urges us on. The intuition draws us upward. And as we look at each of those ways, we'll see if we can't embrace the change rather than fear it. Call it good and very good instead of bad and scary. And if we can't go that far this morning, let's see if we can at least look at change in our lives as molehills instead of mountains. A man walked into the ladies' department of Macy's. He shyly walked up to the woman behind the counter and he said, "I'd like to buy a bra for my wife." "What type of bra?" asked the clerk. "Type?" inquires the man. "There's more than one type?" "Well, look around," she said, as she showed him a sea of bras in every shape and size, color, material. "Actually, even with all of this variety, there are really only 3 types of bras," replied the clerk. Confused, the man asked about the types. The saleslady replied, "There's the Catholic type, the Salvation Army type, and the Baptist type." "Well, what's the difference between them?" the lady responded. "It is all really quite simple. You see, the Catholic type supports the masses. The Salvation Army type lifts up the fallen. And the Baptist type makes mountains out of molehills." Today, at a minimum, I want us to look at turning mountains into molehills. So the 5 ways we call forth change in our lives could also be entitled the 5 ways that we use the law of attraction, which is the law of, or what is the law of attraction? God is always creating, thus we are always creating. Form is always changing. We and our experiences are always changing. So as we look at these 5 ways the law of attraction works in our lives, we can realize that every change occurs in our lives from one of these causes. And every change is an opportunity to connect more deeply with the truth of our own divinity and to express God more fully. Are you with me? So the first thing, it might be a little harsh, it's the truth. We attract what we are. Every person, every place, everything, every business has a certain mental atmosphere of its own. This atmosphere decides what is to be drawn to it. In the chapter on the law of attraction, we each automatically attract ourselves, just what we are. And we may set it down that wherever we are, we can set it down. However intolerable the situation may be, we are just where we belong. That may sound harsh, and I don't think it was meant to be, but rather simply meant to be a statement of fact. We belong there by right of consciousness. We often operate from this place alone when we are spiritually asleep. I know I did for many, many years. As an example, I was passive-aggressive, I was aloof, and I was critical. Not on the outside. I wasn't a speaking forward, critical person in my personal, intimate relationships, but I sure was on the inside. I had a lot of stuff to say on the inside. Didn't come out, hence passive-aggressive. With the partners that I received, that's exactly what I got back. Didn't look the same. But deep down, partners that were passive-aggressive and were aloof, and they were critical. If we don't like where we are, we can change that. This, of course, is a powerful and a profound realization we come to when we first become attuned to new thought principles. And when we recognize this, we begin to change consciously, and consciously court change in our lives. He goes on to write, there is no power in the universe but ourselves that can free us. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody. Thus, we should definitely, daily, using our own name, declare the truth about ourselves and realizing we are reflecting our statements into consciousness and that they will be operated upon it. We will look at the second and the third ways together because they are two sides of the same coin. We attract that which we desire, or that which we do not desire. It depends on which of those has greater amounts of energy attached to it. Someone who's attached to things is not spiritually awake. It's just an awareness. You can disconnect that attachment like that and return to yourself, your truth. It's not a big old thing. Oh, I don't like where I'm at. Oh, God, I got all this work to do. No, you don't. Just go back to that, who you are, the truth of who you are, like that. So it depends on which of those has the greater amount of energy. Often that which we do not desire, that which we don't want to happen to us, gets the energy. We have the ability to choose that, to choose what we will do with our lives. And are unified with a law which automatically produces our choices. while we do not have the ability to destroy the idea of ourselves, we do have the ability to deface it and to make it appear discordant. But we cannot destroy the divine image. We live in a universe of love as well as a universal law. One is the complement of the other. The universe of love pulsating with feelings, with emotion, and the universe of law, the executor of all feeling and all emotion. How the creation of change we desire comes about. Thomas Troward in Edinburgh Lectures says, first, the whole train of causation, or change, is started by some emotion which gives rise to desire. Troward goes on to list the steps of decision-making, or change, as emotion which ignites desire. Then our internal judgment approves of the desire and initiates the will to direct, the imagination to create. A spiritual prototype, a mental equivalent, and keeps the imagination centered on that mental equivalent, which then creates the spiritual nucleus that forces the law of attraction to demonstrate the finished creation. So as I said those steps, I hope you can see for yourself the things that have been created in your life. It follows right along with that pattern. That's how we create, good or bad. Charles Fillmore, in Talks on Truth, reminds us, many who have found the law of true thinking and its effect wonder why supply does not come to them after months, after years of holding thoughts in bounty. It is because they have not developed love. They have formed the right image in mind, but the magnet that draws the substance from the storehouse of being, love, has not been set into motion or action. The fourth concept, I attract that which has a healing for me. So important. The divine spark within us that wants to express sometimes pulls things into our experience to allow us to heal a false belief so that spirit can shine forth more brightly. Often we call those things our lessons. We do know that the universe first teaches or first reaches out its hand to us. The universe first reaches out. And then if we don't pay attention, taps you on the shoulder, give you a little back pain maybe, or something goes out. Maybe it's just a little headache or toothache. It tries to get our attention. And then if we don't pay attention, then you get a big shove from behind. And then finally, it'll hit us on the head with a 2x4 if we didn't wake up. Seriously, what do you call a 2x4? Maybe it's the C word, cancer. You know, you with me? If we don't listen, our bodies shout at us. The author, C.S. Lewis, once pointed out, it may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. But it is a jolly sight harder for it to fly while remaining an egg. We can't go on forever being just good eggs. We must hatch or we'll go bad. Life is a process of growth. Greater expression of spirit requires change. There is no such thing as positive growth or greater expression without change. We must learn to be comfortable with change if we are to experience greater freedom in our lives. Lots of change means you're growing and shifting. And the world is responding to your change in consciousness. It's okay. Relax. You can trust life. You can trust yourself. And you can trust God. Remember that no matter how great or extensive the outward change may be, the principle of God's life never changes. So don't be disturbed by change in your affairs. Make the most of those changes by recognizing the process. And take to your higher spirit. You will never be called on to make a change unless you are ready to make the change. Or as we've all heard before, God will never give you more than you are capable of handling. Let us not listen to the fears that want to crowd into our minds. That's operating from the past. You're not your past. But let us listen to the spirit within that tells us that we are capable of doing whatever is needed. And let us remember that wherever we are, God is, and God is good. All good. Always. Wherever we are, so is the divine. That divine flow of life and of creativity. So the final one is, final thought about change is, I attract that for, I attract that for which I have a healing to give. I attract that for which I have a healing to give. I know there are many healers in this room, and I know that many people that we attract into our healing business need exactly what we just learned. And it's so great to anchor what we just learned by giving relief or healing to someone else. I have a story to share about Sarah. Sarah was hospitalized for the umpteenth time and feeling despondent over it. Why, God? Why this again? She cried as she tried to sleep. She awakened the next morning with a heavy heart, discouraged over her body's frailty and the seeming cruel joke of the universe to put her in such a body. But despite her physical condition, Kathy had a certain radiance about her smile. Her smile would light up the room, and her laugh was infectious. She had been a student of these teachings for many, many years. And even in her moments of despair, she knew at her soul that there was always good in her neighborhood. And this attitude seeped through all that she did. On the morning she awoke, discouraged, a nurse walked into her room and said, "Kathy, you always have such a wonderful attitude. I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind going into the next room and talking to Sarah, the patient. She could use a little bit of what you have." Kathy did just that. And in the course of the conversation with the person, she realized that she was living her calling. To be a ray of light and hope to those experiencing long-term physical challenges and chronic pain. She knew that she came into this life experience to be of support to others. The interesting and, oh how usual, side note to this story is, shortly after Sarah had that realization, her physical condition dramatically improved, and she was sprung from the hospital with renewed health and vitality. She had trained her years of chronic pain gone through an awareness. So let's not resist change in whatever form it may come, or for whatever reason it comes. We don't have to know the reason it comes. But instead, let's give thanks for change as a chance to grow and progress. Let us not be afraid of change, but rather let us be ready to make each change a step forward to a new understanding of success, happiness, and joy of living. Let us know that we are grounded in the change by the changeless. Let us know that it's all small change. Now, I'm calling on each and every one of you to reach down inside of yourselves and ask, am I willing to embrace change in order to experience a greater degree of livingness? Am I willing to move through change in order to experience the miracles that God has for me? Are you ready and willing to move on into greater freedom than you have ever experienced before? Are you? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Then you're on your way. Namaste. Now let's offer each other a sign of peace. And now let's say our affirmation together. I am grounded in awareness and know that all things work together for our good. Thank you, God. And now it is time for our offering. And we will, we acknowledge that the basket is on the table over there if you want to give an offering before you leave today. And many of us give offerings online. As soon as I get my paycheck, I go out there and I give my tithe, my 10%. That's just what I do. So we acknowledge the action, the activity that is us, that puts our energy into this giving, this service, giving to this church so that we can go out and give to others. This church is a 10% tither. So whatever income we make during the month, we take 10% right off the top right away, and we donate that to wherever you guys tell us to give. So if anyone has ideas, we are open. We would love to support whoever you want to support. Many of us, or many times we always support Unity Worldwide Ministries and Silent Unity. But then we go out with the rest and we tithe to our community, people in our community. We put our energy and our love as gifts of service. So now let's say our offering blessing together.
Divine love as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am so blessed. Thank you, God.
And now we'll sing together, I Am So Blessed by Karen Drummer. We sing this every week. I want you to sing it like it's the first time you've ever sung these words.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed. Every Sunday we have a prayer partner. If you would like personal prayer, I do not have someone assigned today. So Julia, Reverend Julia, will meet you in the corner back here if you would like personal prayer today after the service. Our Betty, do you have an explorer's report? I'd love to hear about last Thursday.
Thank you. We did have 5 of us who went to Manuel's last Thursday and had a wonderful lunch. I wish that more of you had been there, but we'll do that again sometime. For July and also August, we are going to explore the Chandler Museum. That's not the Bash's Museum. This is the Chandler Historic Museum. And we're going to go over there and hear some lectures and eat lunch together while we're listening. It's going to be fun. So there will be a letter coming out.
Our musician for next week is Barb Horton and Brian Palmerino, otherwise known as the Yayas. Will be here next week. Our Reiki meeting, we have Reiki meetings every Tuesday at 9:30. They meet in person and also on Zoom. So if you would like to be connected with our Reiki group, please talk to Betty. And then we have our prayer meeting every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Zoom. You can call in. It's a wonderful, powerful group, and that is led by Reverend Julia Norton. So you can contact Julia if you'd like to be plugged in. And then, as always, I want to say thank you to Rob, to Mark, for coming in early and setting up, and for Julia as well, and Amy. Thank you. And Amy, thank you for singing today, and really enjoying this. And Odie, too. Thank you. And now anyone have anything else? Okay. Please come next week. It would be wonderful to have a big group as our send-off next week. We do also have our board meeting today after the service. So if there's anything you would like to communicate with the board, please reach out to someone, one of us, and
We don't
Let
have
your voice
anyone
be
signed
heard.
up to bring flowers for next week, so
Oh.
if somebody would like to do that, let me know.
Amy, you want to bring flowers this week? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's all stand and we'll sing the peace song and we'll close with our prayer for protection.
Unless you came to more than
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was sent to me. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well and good. Amen. Happy Father's Day to you all. Happy
I would
13th.
like that.
And have a